You're watching news.
Hello, I'm Lawrence, and here is the latest update on the situation in Nottingham. Last night, 5 police stations were attacked with what police believe to be homemade incendiary devices. These stations were Canning Circus, The Meadows, Ox Close, Bulwell and St Anne's. A police vehicle parked outside The Meadows police station was set alight last night. 8 people have been arrested in connection to these attacks. Between 6 p.m. last night and 5 a.m. this morning, that's Wednesday the 10th of August, Nottinghamshire Police received and responded to around 600 more incidents than usual. The police note that among these incidents there were increased numbers of arsons, mostly in relation to private vehicles and wheelie bins. A jeweller's in the city centre was broken into last night. A man was arrested nearby and the stolen property recovered. 3 police officers received minor injuries last night while trying to arrest 3 men near the Victoria Centre just after midnight. These officers remained on duty in order to tackle the youth causing issues and also to support their colleagues. Around 20 people took to the roof of Nottingham High School last night. 10 young people were arrested in connection to this incident. 84 arrests had been made by 5 a.m. this morning, and it's estimated that around 100 arrests had been made by midday today. These include 2 young people in connection to the Bulwell police station incident, 8 arrests in connection to the Canning Circus firebombs, and 1 youth in Sherwood who was found to be in possession of 3 homemade incendiary devices. Rob is here to give us a timeline of the events last night. Rob?
Well, commotion was expected to start at 7:45 p.m. at the Nottingham vs County football match. However, police have commended the 22,000 fans for their good behaviour. It was 8:30 p.m. when the first signs of trouble began, as 2 males, one aged 17, one aged 18, were arrested after throwing rocks at Bulwell police station. At 8:46 p.m, a group of men were on the roof of a building at Nottingham High School. 10 people were arrested by 9:27 p.m. for disorder offences. Around this time, the Nottinghamshire police website went down due to heavy traffic. At 10:08 p.m, Canning Circus police station was firebombed by a group of 30 to 40 people. The police emerged quickly from the station, leading to 8 arrests by 10:31 p.m. The fire was eventually extinguished and the scene preserved for forensic evidence. Police received a much higher amount of hoax calls last night and are urging the public only to use the emergency 999 number for the most serious of crimes. Earlier on today, we spoke to SU President Alex Cork-Edelman about his opinion on the Nottingham Riots.
Shock, really. I've been following them quite closely as they've been progressing all over the country, but I was quite surprised to get a text last night saying that the police station at Canning Circus had been firebombed. It's about 400 or 500 metres from where I'm currently living, and it was quite worrying to kind of have it that close to home. And yeah, just the same sort of shock and disappointment that it's happening in Nottingham as it has been happening elsewhere. In terms of advice for our students, I'd say stay away from any trouble, avoid the temptation to kind of go and have a look or even get involved. Certainly don't do either of those things. If you see anything, ring the police, and if you're worried about what's going on, follow the police on their website or on Twitter, something like that, so you're kind of getting reliable information and regular updates so you know what's going on, and just avoid trouble as best you can.
University of Nottingham Students' Union President Alex Cork-Edelman there. Now, earlier today we spoke to Lillian Greenwood's office. Lillian Greenwood is the MP for the Nottingham South area. She told us earlier today that although she hasn't released an official press statement, she has spoken to the local police and received a briefing in preparation for tomorrow's emergency meeting of Parliament. Now, this is the second night of unrest in Nottingham, but obviously this all began in London with a peaceful protest in Tottenham leading to chaos across the capital. Our social affairs correspondent Jade Worsley is in London to bring us more. Jade?
Well, the ugly scenes of violence, rioting and looting have been going on for 5 days now, since the initial protests were hijacked by mobs intent on causing trouble. The riots spread through Luton to Brixton, and by the early hours of Tuesday morning, London was in chaos. Cars were torched, petrol bombs were hurled at police, and local businesses were looted and burnt to the ground. Now, David Cameron came back off his holiday yesterday and did a speech and said that fight back from the police will succeed. Well, in all due respect, riots have also spread from outside of the City of London to places like Bristol, Birmingham, Liverpool and Manchester and Nottingham as well. And Nottingham in particular, the MP for Newark, Mr Patrick Mercer, has spoken to me, and he said that the mobs weren't actually focusing on looting, they were actually focusing on attacking police stations, and that was in Ox Close, Bulwell and St Anne's. Happened in the early hours of this morning, and Mr Patrick Mercer thinks that police should use water cannons and rubber bullets if they want to succeed in cracking down on any future riots. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that, Jade. Now, we'd like to know what you think about the unrest up and down the country, so please send us an email to studio@nutsonline.org or tweet us on our Twitter account, which is @TheNutsTV. Now, if you have any information relevant to the crimes being caused around the country, please contact Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. And of course, these calls to Crime Stoppers are anonymous. Now, obviously, we'll be bringing you the latest information about the crimes and events in the Nottingham area, so keep up to date with us. But for now, thank you very much.